And we are back. Boys, this is going to be a fun episode. Verlis, how have you been, bud? Because it's been a fun fucking weekend.
I've
I've
been
been sick
tired with
and
a
everything
bad
else.
sleep
So,
schedule playing League of Legends.
oh, your normal
Yeah,
every month month
it's normal
thing.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I got fucking sick. So I apologize if my voice sounds shitty. I was going to grab a cough drop, but that's the one thing I forgot to grab. So, we've been proven right. We're going to take Verlis's fucking quote. Verlis always right. No, RMTS always right. So the fact that we've called three or four different things now that have happened, and I found a few more, funny things that have been proven correct by conspiracy theorists as well. I figured that this would be a fun episode to go across. I tried to reach out to Wendy, but
Mhm.
seemed like he was busy tonight, so he wasn't able to come on. But I thought that this would be fun. So do you remember probably like when Rumble started popping, I started saying, you know what, guys, after Elon Musk buys Twitter, he's going to buy a video platform. He's not going to make one, even though he's saying he's going to make one. He's not going to buy one.
Yeah.
He's going to go and buy one. So, Mr. Beast and Elon Musk were tagged in something earlier. They are both the two leading parties for being able to purchase TikTok.
Yeah.
So, that's a weird fucking group of people.
I don't have much to say about it. I think like TikTok is a scourge that needs to be banned, but it's so powerful that there's so many people that could just come and be like, "Fine, we'll buy it," and then it can't be banned because it's all about the China thing.
No, but if it gets flipped into Twitter and it becomes their video part of their platform,
I
think
still
of
hate it.
how, yep, but I'm just saying, like, the user base that transfers over from TikTok to Twitter is fucking massive then.
Yeah.
That's so many more views, it's so many more clicks, it's so many more involved people that it's absolutely insane. It's just interesting that I was proven right on that shit because I think it's hilarious. Because it's like, who fucking called that Elon Musk wasn't going to create his own thing? He was going to buy it again, twice. Like we're Rumble or TikTok, and it seems like TikTok is going to go through. The fact that Mr. Beast might be validating himself again and actually coming up on a positive on something and buying TikTok is insane.
Yeah, the thing about Rumble, that's kind of like the based copium one, where it's just like, and then Elon buys Rumble, and then we win forever. But it's like, no, that's kind of like the hope. But TikTok seems very reasonable, and like, oh yeah, he could do it, and then that just makes everything better for his ecosystem he's building. So it makes sense.
And with the thing that, with him being so close to Trump and everything else, it makes genuine sense. It makes logical sense that he would be the one that buys it. Trump is saying, hey guys, give me a couple days after I'm president, and then we'll decide what we're going to do with TikTok. It kind of seems like Elon's like, hey buddy, help me finish closing this first.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'll buy it. Don't worry.
And then obviously it would be so integral to what Twitter would become that it's going to fucking pop. That is the next possible place right there is putting content on Twitter and
Yeah, the
TikTok.
problem is like Twitter kind of only works as a short form video host because they haven't tried to rework it into a YouTube or some kind of other video platform, which is my gripe. I saw Elon buy Twitter. I'm like, oh, he just makes a better YouTube, better Twitch, better everything platform, and then we're happy forever, right? No, then fucking that hasn't happened
Their
yet.
live streaming, from what I heard, their numbers are so much bigger than what Twitch and YouTube are, like
Yeah,
payout wise.
it just seems inflated and like that doesn't feel correct from an actual like viability and engagement and actual user standpoint.
Well, numbers wise, people from the outside have absolutely no idea what a genuine, realistic ad revenue pay number is. They're
Hmm.
like, you got paid that many thousands for that many people just looking at your video. And it's like, yeah, that's lower than what it should be. And they're like, wait, what? You think some people are like millionaires and you think some people are like dirt poor. And meanwhile, they're like a couple $1,000 difference. It's
I've
weird.
seen a
It's
lot of
so weird.
inconsistency on like the Twitter payouts of people saying like, "Oh, it's actually good CPM," and others saying like, "No, it's the most dog shit CPM."
Yeah. Well, Rumble's $5, which isn't bad at all. That's back
Hmm.
like 2015, 2016 levels shit. But there's not as many viewers there. So sucks, but positive. It'll be interesting to see what Elon or Mr. Beast does with TikTok because, dude, if they take over it and do something crazy with that many viewers, because either one of them, they have millions of eyes on them. It'll be interesting to see what exactly happens.
Yeah, I just don't trust like any integration from any social media platform anymore. Like I said, I
Well,
was hoping that we get like a real video platform on Twitter. Because I mean, like, shit, Twitch's API got fucking, or not API, the source code got data mined and leaked, and that's why Kick exists. So it's not hard to make a Twitch. That's just
well, it's
better.
running off of Twitch's servers with Amazon and everything else. It's literally just reskinned Twitter, not Twitter, Twitch.
Yeah.
It's
So that's what I
fucking
mean. Like,
stupid.
anyone could do it, but, and do it better and make it, like, more not shit, but we haven't seen it yet. So I don't have any faith where it's like, yeah, whatever. We'll see how, maybe TikTok doesn't even integrate. It's just like, it's just
We
TikTok
got
stays.
we got shit on probably like 6 shorts ago when we were talking about Andrew Tate being acquitted. It said that it was hate speech and supporting harmful people, and I'm like, what in the fuck are you talking about? Who flagged this? So I
Mm-hmm.
rejected the appeal, and I was like, I want to appeal this. They said no, we upstand. Oh, we just said he was acquitted. That's all
Mm-hmm.
we said. We didn't even go in depth to what he did or anything, or say that we support him or n-
Yeah.
neglect him. No, just automatic reject. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is crazy. So we were talking about this, and you sent this to me the other day, and we were talking about this probably like 2, 3 months ago. That fluoride might be linked to IQ, and the fact that IQ might actually have some sort of basis with what level of fluoride they have.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, ah, dude, just logic that makes sense. But you would assume that, cities and everything else, dirty water, all those problems, they're going to be the ones that, see the problems and the uptick and everything else. So I went and I got this. You got this link for me, and I got it. Children exposed to higher fluoride levels have lowered IQs. A government study finds. Posted January 6, 2025. Once again, RMTS
Mm-hmm.
proven correct.
The
We
crazy thing
fuck.
about that is like these fluoride studies have been around for a while. It's only when like, oh, a conservative or a popular right wing take latches onto a study that's decades old. That's like, nope, that's fake news, false, wrong, go away. It's like, but there's already been a strong correlation, and now it's
There's
getting
a
harder and
strong
harder to ignore.
correlation when it started. They said
Mm-hmm.
when they even started talking about putting fluoride in the water, and I believe this is what we were talking about, that there was a direct correlation to brain health and stuff like that. They saw a negative impact. There was mild impact to teeth, and that was the only positive thing that came from it. Then they're like, why would we do this? And they're like, yes, we do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Why year one are we saying, hey, we have all these problems now? Why aren't we just accepting that there's problems now?
Yeah, I don't even know what like big fluoride. How are they the ones profiting enough to make it like a lobby that oh we need to keep fluoride in the water arbitrarily? That doesn't make sense. And the funny thing is like when CNN posts it, you know it's over. Like CNN finally admits to fluoride. They also admitted to the Venezuelan gang takeover in Colorado. I got in so many arguments with so many people of people saying like, "Oh, that's fake news. That doesn't exist." It's like, bro, just use your brain. We're getting all of these cartels. We're getting all of these gangs just going through our open borders and then establishing everywhere. Just look around you at all the crime going. That's not happening. Bro. And then eventually CNN says, "Oh yeah, it's actually happening." So tons of things getting confirmed. The fluoride one is really interesting to me because like fluorosis or whatever I call whatever is it called fluorosis?
What, overdosing on fluoride?
Yeah. Well, it's not an overdose. The thing is, like, fluorosis isn't the one that makes your IQ go down. It causes, like, stains and erosions in your teeth. So it's like, wait, we can already visually see that fluoride has a negative impact on our body beyond, like, tooth health. And it's actually harming our teeth if you have it in high enough dose. So it's like, oh, we already have an issue. And, like, 70% of people have that.
And they say
That means
that
there's
the
too much
only way
fluoride
to
in the
fix
water.
it is rebonding your teeth, doing veneers or crowns. This, like, and this is me, like, probably going full conspiratorial at this second, so I apologize. But like, I remember when everybody's like, okay, brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your teeth, but you never saw grandpa brush his teeth, or you
Mm-hmm.
never saw grandma brush their teeth, but yet all their teeth are still white and perfectly okay. It makes you wonder, like, is fluoride actually a big part of this problem? Because we're consuming way too much of it already. So obviously, tooth decay wasn't as bad as what we're showing already. How many people actually were getting dentures back in the 20s and 30s for like real reasons compared to now? And that'd
Mm-hmm.
be interesting as hell.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where also like just brush your teeth and use mouthwash, and then you don't need fluoride in the water. So why are we putting in the water when it could be observed that like 3 and 4 kids have fluorosis, which means they're getting overdosed on fluoride at a young age, and now everyone's stupid. Great. Oh, conspiracy though.
Well, I don't know about you, but I have to buy my own water because literally for the first time since I lived here, we had our water tested about like 4 or 5 months ago. And he came out of the basement with a glass jug and it looked like chocolate milk. He's like, I think you have a little bit too much iron in your water. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, really? No, no kidding. We complained about this for years now. Now all of a sudden you're here. Now they're doing something. So I've been buying spring water for like the past, 6 years because at some point, you buy the best water. And everybody's like, well, why don't you buy distilled water? I was like, that's fucking disgusting. Number one. Number two,
That's just
that has
municipal
fluoride in it.
supply.
Yes, that's city water. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want city water. Why don't I want city water? Because I want the pure fucking I want 100% H2O. That. I want it to come from the ground and get put in the bottle. That's all I want. And I remember like today, I walked over. I was like, okay, I guess I have to buy Poland Spring today because the entire spring section of Walmart was empty. And the dude walks out with the pellet. And I was like, okay, I'm going to walk around and come back just to grab the cheaper spring water. But I'm like, I'm not grabbing anything else unless it says fucking spring water because this shit's gross. It
Mm-hmm.
just is. It tastes like fucking sink water.
Yeah.
But it's fucking insane, man. It's insane that we're getting proven right on so many things that we just like half brain talk about of like, no, this logically is fucking retarded.
That's the thing where you have like that bell curve where it's like you got Grunk on the bottom that's like 60 IQ. It's like something isn't right. Then you got the midwit 100 IQ that just like
Oh,
no, listen
everything's
to the
okay.
science. Yeah, nothing ever happens. And then you got like the 130 IQ. It's like something isn't right. Like that. That's just how it is. Intuition is proving to be incredibly powerful in this day and age.
And
And the NPCs are actually, it turns out the NPCs aren't the sub 80 IQ, it's the 80 to 105 range. Those are the real idiots out there.
it's like the common sense. When you go back and look at our childhood and you thought of common sense, you imagined, the street thugs and the people that could like actually put the pieces together of like real life situations.
The
You
street
don't think of book
smarts.
smart. Yeah, you don't think of book smart people. You think of the street smart people, people that
Mm.
could put two and two together and make five. But for damn sure, actually can make sense of a situation and kind of put it together. It's weird because it seems like more of their IQ, the street smarts, the logical people, are becoming more intelligent now. And the
Hmm.
people that were so far book smart, like the higher end people, like when you went to elementary school and middle school and stuff like that, that were in, the $100,000+ houses and stuff, their IQs are like fucking sub nutsack level. And it's fucking weird now
Yeah.
because you see all these videos and shorts on fucking YouTube and Facebook and shit. They walk up to this pretty girl that for damn sure has never worked for a day in her life. And they're like, name 3 countries. And she's like, America. No, don't name America, lady. Name 3 countries that are not America, Canada, or Mexico. Asia, Europe, Dubai. And it's like, what the fuck are you smoking?
Yeah, they start listing states where it's just like Colorado. It's like, oh no. Yeah, it's bad. Well, the thing is, like, we've seen this where people just think they're smart by going to college and then they get indoctrinated and then they get, like, the bare minimum to pass and they pretend they're smarter than everyone when all they were taught is just bullshit.
Well, I was having that exact conversation the other day. I won't go super in depth with it, but the dude was like, he's struggling and like he has all of these goals and aspirations in life. He's like, oh, I want to work for this person, I want to do this thing. And it's like, buddy, that's not your place. Like, I feel bad for being the logical person to say that. Honestly, I don't think I deserve anything I have. Let me be honest about it. But at some point, you have to see like who you actually are in the world, not like your aspirations of like, oh, I'm going to be president someday. At some point, your mom's aspirations of you being president someday aren't fucking happening. My mom's aspirations of me being president someday probably aren't going to happen. I might be an asshole on the internet, but that's about it. It's sad. It's weird because college is such a weird fucking thing where it's like, okay, you have to go to college to work at McDonald's now. Why?
Well, we with all this immigration stuff that's coming out, it's also a lot more corrupt than we ever imagined with the H-1B uh, visas that have been happening, where it's like, oh yeah, all of your jobs are just getting replaced by Indians, and then the rest of them are getting replaced by illegal immigrants that are now paroled, like what we saw with what's going on in Ohio. And it's it's one of those things where like, oh, and then I think you can also look it up that most of the jobs that were COVID recovery didn't go to white Americans. And I think people have also like pulled up where it's like only 2% of jobs for Fortune 100 companies have gone to white people since 2020.
You know, honestly, and I don't say this without like understanding what the world was then. This country and the entire world, but this country specifically, has gone so far backwards towards Civil War era shit that it is absolutely fucking disgusting to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if anybody else is catching on to that or not or what, but it seems like you had, and honestly, I don't know all of the context around Bush, but you see him struggle and things fall backwards. You see Obama kind of repeat the same exact problems Bush did and push us farther into racial segregation and problems, and Biden
Mm-hmm.
continued them.
Oh yeah, there's all the graphs where like racial tensions went up because of Obama, because it became about race instead of just like, hey, we should live together and not hate each other, and also maybe gays should get married. Let's try out these ideas. Instead, it was like these must happen. You're a bigot. You're wrong. You're white. That makes you evil. And it's like, wait, whoa, 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 no. Let's actually like try to be chill and stuff about this. And then the immigrants started getting flooded in to create more problems. Like I don't know what anymore. Like I just want America to be great, and now that makes me racist. And I believe
It's
in
like,
everyone's opportunity as long as you're legally here.
and I said this in the chat in a PKA today, and it's the most knuckle dragging thing I've ever said in my life, but at the same time, it's the most logical thing I've said in my entire life too. Is I remember when we were in school, we were taught if race is a part of anything, it makes it racist.
Mm-hmm.
We don't make things equal because of race. We don't make things equal because of intelligence, because if we do that, we're going to cause ourselves problems. We have to pick the best people for what the job is and make sure everything's representative of the populace, which I understand part of that would be done by race and intelligence. But at the same time, we kind of have to have it as a small part of it, not the
Yeah.
fucking biggest
it,
part.
it gets problematic when it's like, oh, why are there only 10% of people at work being black? That seems racist. It's like, well, that's the population representation. Don't try to tweak it to 25% because then you're going to disenfranchise people and turn them into racists because they should be getting the jobs if it's based on merit. Instead, you're being racist by saying, oh, this guy, he's underprivileged, so we need to give him special treatment. And that's also what's been happening in colleges for God, almost 50 years now, where it's like, oh, if you score 200 points less on a SAT as a black person, you can still get in. But the Asian person has to score 100 points higher because he's too smart.
And it's fucking stupid. Honestly, it's fucking stupid. Because with some people's intelligence, they legitimately probably could be fucking shown as something that actually matters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are some people that are more intelligent even than I am, that are just like, I don't give a fuck and I'm white. And now all of a sudden, everything's starting to get rallied against because the dudes that are white and 20 years old don't want to hear your race bullshit anymore. They don't want to hear the shit about, oh, they're privileged, they're this or that. Nobody wants to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that, this fluoride shit is going on is just kind of shifting that even farther. Everybody's now going to wonder what the fuck is going on because there are legitimate haves and have nots in this country right now. And the haves are fucking retarded.
Well, see, that's also the big thing that's happening with the Democratic leadership of the last 12 out of the last 16 years with Obama and Biden is that the middle class is getting destroyed. And this is
Mhm.
deliberate design to destroy the middle class to create a very dependent underclass and then all the rich elites. Oh, it's socialism. Great. Like that's where we're at. And the funny thing about bring up fluoride is also our public water supply is completely fucked beyond fluoride. That I was looking at what's in the water out here in Seattle, there's chloroform in the water. And it's like there's a safe level of chloroform in the water where it's like a couple parts per million. And like, why do we have any?
George
Why is
W. Bush
why is
passed
iron at the
arsenic.
max? What?
You know what I'm saying? George W. Bush passed arsenic when he was in office, being
Mm-hmm.
available to be in water. Like, it's fucking insane.
Yeah,
It's
and we also have like maxed out like the highest safe level. So if you're in the highest safe level, of course you're overdosing anyways of chlorine and iron. It's like I cool, and I feel like my filtered water isn't even good enough, so I should just be buying bottled water.
That's a
Like actually, the
gallon.
funny thing is,
That's $1 a gallon.
I treat my dog better than I do because she always gets like the filtered water from the pour, and I'm just like sometimes I'm thirsty, and I just take it from the sink and get my chloroform.
Exactly. Go drink fucking hose water, you heathen. And it's just like, I agree with you. I agree. We should be able to drink water out of the fucking hose and it be safe and healthy. Problem is, this is not fucking safe
Well,
and
it's
healthy
also
right now.
impossible because like antidepressants are getting in, birth controls in the water supply, and you can't just filter that shit out. So humans have also created this by just being disrespectful of all the free utilities out
Well,
there.
we were told for so long, oh, just flush your pills. Put your pills in your sink and run the water until they
I
disintegrate.
never heard anyone say like that's what you should do. I heard that that's the bad thing everyone does.
I heard that that was the thing to do until they started doing the pickup sites where they would set up like a
Hmm.
police officer or something to pick up medication that wasn't finished and stuff like that. Before that, it was flush it. Why would they want it in the garbage? Then it leaches into the ground and into the water.
Yeah, just make it go there faster.
Exactly. It's just it's stupidity. It's absolute fucking stupidity.
Yeah.
And the fact that all this shit is cyclical makes it even sicker.
Oh yeah, click on the link in private chat. And the weird thing is when you find older posts, because this is also a big trend on the show, where I'm like, I found a Reddit post 8 years ago talking about this shit, and now it's right. Uh, so with this, people are bringing this up now, but it was also very observable early on in COVID recovery. So major U.S. companies gave 94% of new jobs to people of color in 2021. That doesn't seem representative of the population of America. That that's kind of the upsetting thing, and that's also where it's like, oh well, now you're racist because you don't want minorities getting jobs. Like I want American citizens getting jobs, which they aren't. So we're losing millions to the illegal immigrants and H-1B Indian visas, and you just have to observe it.
Well,
Before COVID,
this right here discounts your argument right there.
oh,
And normally I agree with you with a lot, but right here, we accounted for 20,000. What the fuck? Why is this shit popping up? No, fuck you. Um, this shit accounted for 20,000 jobs or 6% of white people of the 300,000 jobs. Hispanic individuals accounted for the most hires with 40%.
yeah,
So that is
but
people coming over from Mexico. That is people coming over from
well, that's because
the
Biden
Caribbean.
opened the borders. You got to put them
Oh,
somewhere.
absolutely. I don't
And that's what I mean.
disagree. I'm
This
just
seems like design where people like, oh, COVID, like, it depends on how conspiratorial you get with like COVID being made in a lab, which is confirmed now. They used to get you banned on YouTube and Twitter. But like, how much of this is by design to be like, we lock down, no one's paying attention to the borders, we replace all the white people, middle class is gone, socialism wins. It's like that actually seems like they did exactly that, and it's fucking terrifying. But I saw it in my communities, or just my community where I lived, that before COVID, you go into McDonald's, mostly white people running it. You got a couple of Hispanics in there. Seattle, like surprisingly, Washington has a lot of Hispanics and
I would not
Mexicans.
expect that. I honestly, and I wanted to
No,
move
I
to
mean like
Seattle.
a lot more than you expect, but there's still a lot. But let me finish real quick. So it's like, yeah, I go into McDonald's, I go into all the fast food places around, and be a fair balance where it's like, yeah, this seems representative that you get a couple of Hispanic people in there, and then 2021 when everything opens up again, no white people working at any of the fast food people places around, and that's another problem that we see that if you get a Hispanic or Mexican manager, they only hire Spanish people. They only hire Spanish speaking. Same thing with Indians. You get an Indian in, they
I
only
was gonna
hire
say
themselves. And
you
that
heard
is
that
where it's a problem.
with Woody stories too when he was working in hiring in
Oh, it's
Cisco,
horrible in tech because of H1B.
because as a whole it would be okay. Why do I not have a single white person coming across my desk that I can hire? Everybody is Patesh, and it's just it's not guys. This isn't a race thing. I don't think anybody thinks that this should be a race thing. It's not hire no Indians. It's not hire no black people. It's not hire no
Mm-hmm.
Hispanics. It's when you think about fucking Seattle, it is fucking vampires and fucking old fucking Indians that have lived there since fucking the land bridge and they decided not to fucking leave the area. That's the only thing that's in fucking Seattle. That's why everybody wants to live there. It's literally rain and fucking Native American culture. That's what Seattle used to be. Now all of a sudden, what the fuck? It's only fucking Mexicans? That doesn't fucking make any sense to me. It just logically doesn't.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, another thing is the staffing agencies. That like when you have all of these immigrants that need to be put into a staffing agency, it's like, well, you have to reserve a certain percentage of your positions for immigrants in a staffing agency. So, kid coming out of high school that wants a job, like get their first fast food flipping burgers, no, you're not allowed in. Yeah, that
And to
those jobs
me,
are already taken. And then there's like a mandatory management position for minorities, and then they just fill the entire place with non-Americans, and it's like, okay, cool. Now we're racist for complaining about this shit that everyone's watching happening.
and even if we don't bring up the race part of it, and we use McDonald's or a fast food job as the standard of what we're talking about here, as a whole, that is where most teenagers go to get their
Yeah,
person to
how is it
person
hard to get
experience.
hired at McDonald's? How?
They go to get their human interaction. They make a little bit of money. They learn how to fucking work. Okay, so now from my generation forward, we have a whole bunch of people who saw 16 and pregnant and everything else and different ways to earn money. And YouTube blew up and everything else. Now we have kids. All of us have kids. So now all those kids are seeing, oh, YouTube and all of these things. Oh, we don't go to the grocery store or interact with people anymore. We stay home. How the hell are these people teaching their kids that there's actual human interaction and jobs that they actually have to do? Where the fuck is the accountability? Because that's where the fucking problem is. It's the fact that we're not teaching these 16 to 18-year-olds what accountability is. They're not fucking learning it.
Yeah, but they're still trying to get jobs. They just don't get them, and then they get more
Do you really
disenfranchised and
think they're
say,
trying?
yes,
I
they
don't.
are. I do because like I see it where it's like, yo, people are telling me to pick myself up or get started working. And it's like I applied to every fast food place and got rejected. Like they because money's nice. It's great having money, especially if you need to like fucking get your facial surgery, so that way you get that peak fucking what's it called looks
Sad
maxing.
face?
You know those perms aren't cheap that all these
Oh,
broccoli headed
absolutely.
zoomers are getting, so they like the money.
Yeah, they're jealous of my natural fucking fro. That's what the problem is.
So like I like they're definitely looking for jobs, and a lot of people I talk to are looking for jobs, but they just don't get it, and then everyone gets disenfranchised, and then they become even more bums and losers. Like they had a chance to integrate into society, and they got rejected after their 20th application. Said, "Fuck it, I'm going to be a loser anyways."
And honestly, like when they all grew up with yes, 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 you're God's gift to the earth and everything else, how many of them genuinely are going to think of themselves in a negative light? They're either going to be so self-conscious that everything's negative guaranteed, or they are going to be shoved so far up mommy's ass that everything is positive, and there's no accountability on either of those. So, that person who's not self-conscious at all and gets rejected by McDonald's 20 fucking times, there's gonna be a big fucking problem after that.
Well, also, I'm just thinking like, how much is this is actually like the accountability being misguided? Because that was my first thing, where it's just like, oh, the parents are fucking up all these kids with the everybody gets a trophy kind of stuff. But they also never stood a chance if they had any ability to fight that. When you think about it, because again, this destruction of the middle class, this prioritization of everyone except for Americans, that's
Well,
going to be as big of a problem as mom just handing an iPhone and walking away. Because the algorithms are also now designed to destroy people.
yeah,
It's not.
and there's 2 big parts of that, but I do wanna say this before we get completely off of the fluoride topic. This also has been investigated by the government, and the meta-analysis found statistically significant association in between higher fluoride exposure and lower children IQ, showing that the more fluoride a child is exposed to, the more likely that child's IQ will be lower than if they were not exposed.
Mhm.
So it has now not only been admitted by CNN, it's
That's
been
because
admitted
like
by the
that's why
government.
CNN made the article. It's the government saying this. I'm pretty sure the reason why this was thought about is because the government said it back in the 90s. But no, you're listening to RFK. He has a worm in his brain, so you're an idiot like he is. It's like, bro, this is the science. I guess you don't know what the science is because of all the COVID shit,
Okay.
but this is what science is.
So have you ever heard or taught yourself about generational trauma or generational
I'm
curses would be
aware of
another
it. Yeah.
tag that okay, so generational curses or trauma is something that has been passed down from your grandfather to your mother to you,
Mhm.
whatever lineage that is. So it would be okay. So my grandfather was alcoholic. That alcoholism, being around the house all the time, caused my mom to become an alcoholic. That alcoholism being around the house all the time caused me to be an alcoholic. And it doesn't change. It causes suppression within the classes because you then still have the same problems that
Hmm.
your grandparents, great grandparents, whatever didn't work past. That's not my unique problem, but that's what they are. I think that is a bigger problem and something that everybody needs to face now because I think a lot of people don't genuinely accept that their parents were wrong. Like you have the people that were genuinely uniquely traumatized. Like me or you, we've had conversations where it's like, that's a
Hmm.
bad thing. That thing's not okay. This wasn't okay. It's like, okay, but there's people that are less intelligent than us that just accept it, right? And then the guys that are in those relationships will be the same thing that their dad was and abuse the girl, abuse this person, walk away, whatever. They continually do the same fucking cycle. They don't ever accept that it's a bad thing because they wanted to be a single mother at 20 years old. Oh, they wanted to be a stripper at fucking 19. And yet they still brought their kids into that same life that they were living literally as a kid, saying that this is wrong. It's like they don't have the critical thinking skills enough to have the accountability and say, hey, this was wrong when my mom did it. This was wrong when her mom did it. It's okay for me to stand up and say that this is wrong. It's like,
Well, the thing is, I think we overshot it because the everyone gets a trophy generation was a correction of that. It's, oh, my parents treated me like shit, so I'm going to make my child the special snowflake flower blossom that I wanted to be. That if only I had a chance and not my dad wasn't spending all the money on alcohol, I would have been so much better. So I'm
but
going to give them that life, and then they end up spoiled. I think we
that's not
overshot
how
it.
you fix it. That's not how you fix
I
that.
know that's not how you fix it. But that's what happened, and now it's going back into it where it's like, nah, generational trauma's still sticking.
Yeah, like think of how many people our age grew up on fucking welfare on services of some kind and everything else. Now think of how many times our generation has multiplied and how many of those kids are on welfare and services and everything else. Because most of those people don't fucking work.
Hmm.
Even in small towns, man, it's like 20 fucking percent of people working. How many people are you like, oh, yeah, no, she's a welfare mom. She has 6 kids from 6 different dudes and has done nothing with her life other than a drug charge she got at fucking 25. At some point, man, the stereotype sticks for a reason.
I don't know. Like I said, I think there's actually more deliberate destruction to put people into those positions through just government and social programs now.
Like, look at my family. My family goes from signing the Declaration of Independence to being on services and struggling.
Hmm.
That's a big fucking difference. That's huge. Like, regardless of if anybody wants to understand or count that, that's a drastic difference. And that's not the color of my skin. I'm fucking whiter than shit.
Well, a lot of things are whiter than shit.
Exactly. You have no idea how white I am. So the other thing that we talked about pretty extensively and was a big point that conspiracy theories are not just theories to me. And this is the big one. And I want to find the right, I didn't timestamp it because I'm a retard. But this one was blew up because of whatchamacallit, Joe Rogan and stuff like that. But I love the point it makes. We talked so openly and so in depthly about how Nickelodeon was fucking toxic and they were doing fucked up things and how we want to rally against these people because these people are doing fucked up things.
Just the entire entertainment industry.
Like we're now seeing Diddy fall, but nobody's falling with him.
Hmm.
Why? Why was Jay-Z able to be like, no, not me, you, fuck you? What the fuck
How
is
many
this shit?
hundreds of people, thousands of people went to those parties and yet no name, just like the Epstein list? Weird. And
So
then when there's like dozens of victims of Harvey Weinstein, the whole shit was just fucked.
this is the weirdest clip to me. And it was in front of all of our faces as kids. If you watch Pinocchio, this is one of the craziest fucking clips I've ever seen in my life. Didn't click the clip first. There you go.
How would you blokes like to make some real
Oh
money?
yeah, this one's big.
Well,
Human trafficking is an industry worth billions of dollars. As the UN Office
Oh my God, you fucking retards. You can't even leave the clip on, really. You
Well,
can't even leave the clip on YouTube
yeah, and well, the
without
problem
putting
is
a fucking
copyright.
voiceover.
See, and that's another way the system gets you. These people are the ones in charge of the copyright claims, which is why you're not allowed to talk about their shit and expose them.
My God. You would think the Human Rights Network would have the clip from Pinocchio from Disney proving that they're scumbags.
Yeah,
No,
that's something
no,
about
we
like
just voice
there's an
overed it.
island for boys.
And it's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why? Why is this the point that you want to fucking cling on to? And we are seeing it in real time with fucking Diddy. To me, if J Lo does not go down and Jay Z and Beyonce do not go down with Diddy, we're not finding anything out about Epstein.
Hmm.
Trump will not release that
I mean, we
list.
already saw
If
this with the 2008 financial crisis. One dude took the fall for everything.
Mhm. it's it's fucking pants on head retarded.
Yeah, but that
Fucking
clip
pants on head
surfaces every
retarded.
couple of years where they're just like when Epstein came out, I saw it. Whenever there's any kind of breakdown, that pops up. So like now with Diddy, oh, who knew the entertainment industry is talking about diddling kids? And that's how. And see, that's also the weird thing about like ego and the shadow self is that your evils you need to express them somehow. That you have no other way of keeping everything to yourself, your darkest, most tormented secrets, and then you code it that way, and that's how some people get caught, or that's where the suspicion starts. Where it's like, man, Diddy's a freak. Oh yeah, he's just charming though. Or like that's just him being weird. That's everyone. Everyone's a little quirky in the entertainment industry. It's like no, that's the in coming out.
Yeah, and I I assumed there to be some sort of link or connection to Jeffrey Epstein and Diddy,
Hmm.
but I don't fucking know.
What if there isn't? Because Diddy heard about Epstein was like, I'm gonna do it better.
What the fuck happens if there is?
I want him to be crazier. I want him to go. That's a good idea, but I'm not fucking with him. I'm doing my own thing.
What happens if he's the first person to fall in the Jeffrey Epstein shit, and they use his name to drag everybody else out?
Well, that should be
That would be
happening
the interesting
now,
part.
anyways. So, like, it's mostly just about the I knew it part, where it's like, aha, but all this is being stalled so much, where it's like, ah, that's right. The eroding middle class Americans aren't allowed to get their due for all the fucked up shit that's happening around them. Great.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious. So the title of this article says Epstein and Diddy cases are not the same. Says model Lisa Phillips. Sean thought he was a god. And then it says Jeffrey was all under the table. Only certain people knew about the sex trafficking. He was very smart, much smarter than Sean Combs.
Well, that's the thing about Epstein, where it's like you go for a party and then it turns out you were on film the entire time. Now you're mine, politician. But Diddy's just like, yo, we got some stuff back there. You want it? And then people go, am I going to get caught? Nah, man. So it
And
is different in that kind of way.
the crazy thing about it is if you look at where he's in jail, being in the same jail as Sean Bankman Fried and the same jail as Luigi Mangione. Why the fuck is Luigi being charged first? Why is Luigi's thing going so much faster than everybody else?
Why is he even in that jail when he was a nobody?
I don't know.
I don't like any of this.
It feels weird, doesn't it?
Well, that's the biggest thing is like, where's our judicial system? How did Ghislaine Maxwell go down? Like she's in jail, but there's no clients. Where were those kids trafficked? There has to be victims and there has to be perpetrators. But no, apparently not. She did it all, every single one. Only her.
It's weird. I'm trying to find a clip from whatchamacallit. This I don't know if you saw this. This dude's like, Jeff Epstein? I know Jeff Epstein. He's a cool dude. It's Conan O'Brien. Here, I found it. This dude was. We'll watch this and then we'll change topics.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, this is the thing I hate about a lot of topics is that they're kind of like you there's only one thing to say about them where it's like, how do we not have the client list? Okay, next topic, because this is fucking tired.
Yeah, no.
There's the only thing
That's
to
why I'm
say is
trying
where's
to
the client list?
integrate
Everyone
videos
else
and
knows
stuff.
everything going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like one small thing pops up, it's like, I just want to go on the next topic.
We're deceased. I'm pretty sure I would know about it.
Much has been said about Jeffrey Epstein. Terrible things.
No, Jeff, I'm talking about Jeff Epstein, the New York financier.
Yes, we're talking about the same Jeff Epstein.
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
I never heard.
Oh, it was a big story in the news. Huge.
No.
Yes, for you to say no one ever
Jeff
said
Epstein.
Yes, the financier.
With the island.
Yes, he had an island that I've never been to.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure if there was some news about Jeff Epstein, I would have heard.
No, I don't know what rock you've been under. It was a huge story. I have to tell you, he's gone. He's dead.
What do you mean?
He's dead.
He's dead.
He's
No.
dead.
Sorry, nice try. Now, I admit, since the pandemic, I have not talked to him.
That would make sense.
There's one easy way. Let's call Ghislaine Maxwell.
No, we're not calling Ghislaine Maxwell.
This has to be a bit. That has to be a comedian.
It's not a bit.
It's impossible.
Why
like
would-
that dude just.
Why would
trolling.
Conan O'Brien, as a whole, like I completely understand your point. I don't disagree with you. If it wasn't a bit like if it was me or you having that conversation with somebody, I hire somebody and let's have some fun conversation. You're telling me Conan O'Brien's going to be like, "Ha, buddy, here's some money. Act like you know Jeff Epstein and you can't believe that he's a sexual predator."
Yes, because look at that content. It's working because it's all fake. There's no way that's real.
I guarantee you that's real. That to
Nah.
me is
See,
so
this is
fucking
where
insane.
the conspiracy overshoots, where it's just like we can't leech onto anything that looks weird. We just have to go. We have to go off intuition. My intuition, that's been right about every other conspiracy, tells me that's bullshit.
My intuition tells me that that's some retarded grandpa that was like, "Oh, I knew Jeff Epstein. He bought me a fucking hot dog 5-6 months ago when we walked down the fucking city." Like, that's the dude who I'm thinking is saying this. Not like some big shot guy, but somebody who saw Jeff like 5-6 times a year and they had fun and he gave him like $250 once a Christmas.
But
That's why
that
he's like,
doesn't
"Hey,
make
let
it
me
to where
call
you,
Ghislaine."
yeah. See, like he's so wrong and out of touch that even that dude would be like, oh, but my Christmas card or something, or yeah.
Yeah, I still got my Christmas card last year. What are you talking about? Yeah, that's because Ghislaine Maxwell went in fucking prison last January. Like, that's what I'm saying is like, it's logical that might, even if it's super fucking wrong, which it very well might be, it's so out of touch that it can't be fucking fully fake. Because Conan O'Brien, if that was fake, Conan O'Brien should absolutely be implicated in those charges.
No, not if that's fake. That's just the funniest bit ever, where you have some dude that's like, "What about Epstein?" And it's like
And it's
the
like,
greatest
I never
story,
went there.
the most
It's like,
yeah.
look. That's
I know.
what
I
it
think
is.
I think you have to make that like the thing is, the list is out there. People that went know. So like lying isn't going to help you in this situation. He said with such conviction, where he's like, God, we were talking about Epstein. I need to make sure like I didn't go. Like, what's the thing with Trump where he did go, but he just went like, nah, this is sush, and then left?
I'm like, honestly, and I think you probably agree with me. Anybody who's on that fucking list, investigate it. Please investigate every single.
Well, that's why I said,
person
like,
at the
that's
same
why is
fucking
this our
level.
longest topic of the show? When it's just like, list, get out, done topic.
So then we have the biggest thing of last fucking election cycle, which is the Biden laptop.
Mhm.
That is a confirmed fucking conspiracy theory. And the fact that people still don't believe this shit makes me wonder what the fuck
It shows
is
how
going
strong
on
the
with
propaganda is.
And it's frustrating. It's frustrating that I saw this on fucking Reddit today. Somebody legitimately said, so somebody drops off their laptop. A weird thing happens with it. He doesn't pick it up and doesn't pay for it. Somebody breaks into it and finds really weird pictures, and we're supposed to care. I'm like, what in the fuck did you read? Did you read the same things I did?
Hmm.
Or did you just like out and out on purpose avoid every single thing that was said about the entire
Yeah,
fucking
it's just cognitive dissonance. There's like that person is the most anti-Trumper ever. Democrat Party can do no wrong to where even like reality is not allowed. That's why it's called derangement.
and it's so frustrating because I feel, and I could be wrong, when I was a kid, neither political party was that. It was, okay, I'm gonna vote
Yeah,
for whatever
the
the
truth
fuck
matters.
person's fuck me the
Hmm.
least. It was, oh, a Republican did a shitty job last time. Let's vote in a Democrat and maybe they'll do better. And then they sort of fail in the same way. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
I'm just like noticing. I'm like, why is that darker? That I looked like I shaved properly. Oh well, it's fucked now.
You're matching up with those furries, buddy.
So, but yeah, like the thing is, didn't Biden get like disqualified from the presidency back in the '80s because he plagiarized like 3 sentences? We used to be a country of standards and morals. Now you can actually do dealings with China through your son and lever and like the Burisma corruption. Like that's the biggest conspiracy thing where it's like, oh, but wait, Biden Burisma Ukraine. How is that just not over? How is
Yeah.
that not an impeachment on the spot?
Okay, so it was not Biden.
Hmm.
So in Joe Biden's 1988 presidential campaign in September 1987, reports emerged that he had played. It is Biden. It
Hmm.
was a plagiarized speech by British leader of the opposition Labour Party, Neil Kinnock. Other allegations of past law school plagiarism and exaggerating his academic record soon followed, and Biden withdrew from the race later that month.
That's fucking wild. That's all it took for you to lose the presidency, and now infinitely worse happens with every new update, and that's not an impeachment. That's not a disqualification. Uh,
Okay,
Kamala
with
can
with
lie
not even
50 times on the debate, and it's fine.
with not even talking about the current shit, that shit by itself, you should be out of a fucking job within politics.
Well, that's also what happened with Harvard. That's like, oh, it's all fucking fake with the indoctrination going on in universities, and then it turns out that the president of Harvard like plagiarized all their studies. Great.
And it's just like, what the fuck? You don't have to do this. You
That is
don't
your
have to.
academic leader, and they are complete frauds. And then it turns out that's half their staff is just they got to that position by being black and plagiarizing stuff. Cool.
And the crazy thing to me, and this is the conglomeration of all of this Biden shit. So obviously, I think that Hunter Biden was put on Burisma as a payback to the Bidens. Obviously, after, Zelensky was put in power because he was a fucking, what was he, an actor or a fucking
I think it was
comedian
an
for
actor.
like
Yeah.
decades, and then all of a sudden just randomly put in there as like a military fucking leader. And then during the Obama administration, you see Russia take over Georgia and take over Crimea. Then all of a sudden, Trump comes in office and Russia puts their hands up and says, "We're not doing anymore, buddy. Don't, we promise, we're sorry."
Hmm.
Trump puts pressure on Burisma and saying, "Hey guys, we can't do this anymore. Maybe you should start releasing the fucking information about what the fuck is going on because this is bad.
Yeah.
This
Maybe
is
you
really
guys
fucking
are
bad."
corrupt.
Then charges are pressed on him for saying that.
Hmm. And
Okay,
Russia collusion. Wow.
if he was a shitty person, I agree. I might even blindly agree with you, saying, "Hey, no, we have to look into this more. There's problems." That's something I would say. It's something I have said. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even
Hmm.
just with this situation, but like anything that goes on. Like, if something wrong happens and you don't feel like it's right, even when you're sitting here watching fucking Law and Order SVU, you're like, "Nah, bitch, that person's in jail, but the person that did it's that dude over there with the fucking mustache. I promise you. It's every single fucking time you watch that show. It's always the person that's on the side. And you're like, investigate more. Trump didn't do anything wrong there. Honestly. Like
Mhm.
even if he was like, hey guys, we'll give you your money that you need if you actually play ball with the things that we need you to do. If he cleared Biden's name and Trump signed off on it, do you know how much more of a win that is for Trump? That's huge. That shows that he's
Well, the
not
problem
playing
is if you
partisan.
say play ball, then that's quid pro quo. But the problem is it ignores that the reason why ball isn't being played is because the other side is already doing fuck shit.
Yeah.
So that's where we get into problems. Also, that made me realize something. Like, what is a single Democrat conspiracy that has been confirmed in the last decade? Is there even one? Because the weird thing is, like, Democrats' only move is lying through propaganda and then having that lie stick forever. The laptop is fake, Russia collusion, P tape, all these things. Like, no, that's real. But then those narratives stick. Trump is just a Russian asset. Well, you only think that because you were lied to for a decade. But like, what? That meanwhile, like, okay, what did the Democrats get right about conservatives?
Probably Ted Kaczynski and that shit, I would assume.
Is that
But
even conspiracy?
it was like how many people didn't think Ultra was real? You know what I'm saying? Like it was
That's
such
more
a
like the
big
government.
question and
That's
everything
just
else.
like, oh, we're waking up to JFK and MK Ultra and all these other things.
Yeah. But
Bay of
so
Pigs, how we lost Panama.
that
Yeah,
Russia conspiracy theory doesn't end there to me. To me, you have Biden coming out, not pushing forward when Trump is elected. Then the second Biden is elected, he pushes into Ukraine. He now says that he's going to put his hands up and say, "Hey, let's agree to a ceasefire at some point and agree where something
mm-hmm.
changes." Now that Trump is in office, to me, and this I said this on the Wendigoon episode, and I'm not even using the same notes, but to me, after Putin said, "I want to unite Russia under the same banner again," to me, it makes me feel like Putin and Zelensky are in this together.
What?
Putin was Putin had tanks in Chernobyl, in fucking Kiev, and everything else. You have Zelensky running around on camera as soon as the fucking war starts. They know where he is. They could do whatever the fuck they want to do and take him out.
We
They
don't
don't.
have that happen though in other wars. We always know where the Taliban leader is. We just choose strategically when to remove him.
Yes, but have they actually done anything to remove him? They had the capital city.
Because they can't. You remove him, and then the support against, like, for Ukraine and against Russia goes even bigger. That's why it has to be strategically timed. You can't just be
And
like, you can't open the war by killing a president. You
oh
can.
wait, that's exactly what we've done with every
wait,
single
wait, no,
war
wait, no. You can,
since we
but
were
it
born.
doesn't work good. That's how World War One lost Germany, and then made World War Two make Germany lose more.
Mm-hmm.
So Russia's not going to do that. They're not going to go, wait a second. We pull an Archduke Ferdinand here by opening the war with this. That's World War III, and then the whole world's against us, and now Russia's smaller.
How many leaders since you were born have you seen any of our presidents at a table with when they were our enemy, other than North Korea and Trump?
I'm pretty sure Castro spoke with us, right?
Maybe once, maybe twice. Who the fuck knows?
Maybe some 1990s Afghan war leader.
But
I think we
that's
were
my
buddies with
point.
Bin Laden in the 90s.
That's my point. Is so as a whole, we've had buddies with Bin Laden and then fought him and everything else. Is it really crazy to think people that have the same ideology of a country being reunited in Putin and Zelensky, who is a fucking actor, not having the same ideology in some form
How
or
does he
fashion?
have the same ideology?
What I'm saying is he's an actor, so he knows how to fake
Well, I'm
what
saying it's
he
like,
needs to
where
do in order
is.
to be.
I
I'm
don't know
saying
why
that
he,
his ideology might be different than what he's portraying to the Ukrainian people.
that's
He's
the
an
dumbest shit
actor.
I've ever
He
heard.
knows how to do it. Really? You don't
Yeah,
think that
just.
that's
And
possible?
you don't have to be an actor to lie. he
Oh, I'm
wants
just saying that he's good at it. That's all I was saying.
he just wants to defend Ukraine because like Russia, that the non-Russia side of Crimea doesn't like Russia except for like the people that were originally a part of it, but they want to push back and hold. I believe Zelensky's on that side, not some
I don't
secret
think
like
Zelensky is.
there's not a secret op to keep Russia get power.
No, I think Russia is trying to reunite.
You shouldn't
Genuinely.
let the conspiracy wins we have in this episode now ruin the streak. I'm staying. I'm gonna stay always right. See, for Listify always right, you're getting too stupid on this one.
So now we have the biggest win of all time. And this ties it right back into all of the shit with oh, that's the wrong type. Yep, there we go. This goes right back into all of the chemicals in the water and fluoride and everything else. Who doesn't love this conspiracy right here?
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the friggin' frogs
That's all we need. Yeah.
Just crap gay.
It's crazy when it doesn't stop at the same time when I pause it. I hate it. But that one has slowly become so much more proven. It's fucking frustrating that people want to hold on to words and it make it a semantic.
I mean, the thing is like that's always been the truth is that chemicals fuck up development. The scary fact is we all have smaller dicks because of using Teflon. Fluoride's making us stupider. Teflon's making us inept, and now there's plastics. Like everything's plastic. Our balls are half microplastics now. That can't be good.
God damn. Like our dicks are smaller because we're using Teflon. That makes me wonder how big it really would have been.
I'm upset.
I can't be upset.
Not because I missed, not because I didn't make it to the bar, but because it could have gone higher.
Imagine more than a foot. It's fucking crazy. But no, the fact that people disagree with the frogs being gay shit because he said gay instead of hermaphroditic really frustrates me.
Well, like I said, whenever there's any right wing just sprinkling of right wing or conservatism and thing, automatically wrong, you're wrong, can't be right, you're wrong, conservative bad, wrong.
And it's just like, what the fuck is your problem? Well, like, why?
Accept
Why
facts,
so
please.
openly is it that one side can be wrong always? And that's honestly, I think my biggest frustration with the world right now is like, okay, I agree that there are some things everybody's wrong about. Me and you've had this conversation. Hey, if you run headfirst into a wall against retards, guess what? You're running headfirst into a wall against retards. You're going to hurt yourself at some point, regardless of if they're wrong or not. You're not being salient either. You're just saying mine. I'm right. People are doing the same fucking thing. Everybody is doing the same fucking thing, and that's the problem with everything that's going on right now. Like the biggest problem with the fucking June video is like he didn't ask your opinion. He didn't ask your take on anything. He didn't ask the context of anything. He just wanted to say that you were a bad person. And it's like, that doesn't make you a bad person because I think you're a bad person.
Uncritically accepting every lie about me to prove a point.
Exactly.
We have the replication crisis in academia that everyone's just making shit up and then they're saying they're right. And because they're woke, they're automatically right. So we should have no reason to worry about vaccines or any side effects or big pharma. Big pharma was bad. Now it's great.
I had that same exact fucking argument the other day. I was arguing with somebody. No, I was explaining SSRIs to somebody. And they're like, that's not what I was taught at all. And I was like, well, that's how they work. Like I'm not even explaining it to you and rewording it to you, and I'm copy and pasting it from Google. That's what Google says it does. An SSRI is a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. So in your
Big
mind,
words.
what do you think that means?
Well, I know the function, but I don't know like how the scientific exact things happen on the spot in the middle of a podcast like this. I just know that's like your brain chemicals go out of whack and it make you sad, but this block it.
So for the longest time, they explained it as in that it gave you more serotonin. And that was kind of it. They didn't want to explain it to anybody. It gives you more serotonin. Okay, first off, that's not how you do things. You don't give an addict dopamine, so that way they're fixed. That's not how you do it. Even people with ADHD, you give them dopamine with things like Adderall, and you make sure that they're able to do the things so they could feel positive. Giving people that are depressed something that blocks the fucking the dissolution of serotonin causes you massive problems because you no longer develop serotonin.
Well, that's true of like everything. That if you take testosterone, you stop developing testosterone.
Yeah.
So like the problem is that I mean this is the thing that everyone's known about in big pharma, but they can't admit it because conservatives is that they can't sell you a cure. They have to sell you treatment, or else they lose money.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, I agree with things needing to be medicated. If you're at a problem where you need to deal with massive fucking depression or whatever, and you need to work through it and get past it, if a
Mm-hmm.
medication helps you work past it, fucking work past it.
You
Absolutely. I
can't
agree
just
with
be
you.
stuck on that medication for your entire life because then you're doing it all wrong.
Starting a medication at any young age, especially, can cause you massive development problems and spikes because you're cutting off the serotonin levels that they're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to grow and learn and develop because now their brain thinks, guys, we got so many happy fucking cells floating around because our nerves don't accept them anymore. We have to be happy. No, it stretches them. So it makes them so that way they don't dissipate and they just make you happy. What happens when
And
it stops making them?
we're also getting to the point of like pharma being so out of control that there's drugs just to treat the side effects of other drugs. Like, how does no one fucking realize, like, oh, maybe I should just stop taking everything then and try to figure out, like, the other methods of being healthy? Why don't I just, like, exercise instead of taking Ozempic?
One of the homies in the chat the other day, he's just started streaming again. I guess he just got back from the hospital. I haven't heard from him in a few days, and he was like, "Yeah, finally back to streaming and stuff like that." I was like, "What happened?" He's like, "Oh, I was in the hospital for 3 days." I was like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Yeah, I overdosed on Tylenol." He's like, "I took like 20 pills worth of Tylenol in a 48-hour cycle, and then I took NyQuil twice,
Then my liver shut down.
and then my liver shut down." And then they needed to clean me out and make sure that everything was okay. And it's like, does like, I don't know if I'm just more intelligent than people or because I actually have a mom who was a nurse for some point and I'm able to kind of logically put it together. That's fucking retarded. Who the fuck takes that much medication at all, let alone of one kind?
Sub 90 IQ. Like, at
Dude's
some point, your
intelligent.
brain. Like, at some point, your brain. Obviously not. At some point, your brain has to kick in and be like, wait a second. Maybe I should read the label, and the label says liver damage if more than 4? Maybe I
Like I remember
shouldn't.
my ex-wife caused herself to have fucking liver failure twice because of Tylenol and Motrin. And I'm like, I'm standing here. I don't fucking take medication because that's fucking gross. I don't care. I haven't taken any medication other than my Adderall or fucking things
Mhm.
that have been prescribed to me for like the nerve medication I was prescribed for a couple months and like infection shit. That's it.
Yeah.
Because like why?
I mean, I've said
Why
on the
would you?
show before that I'll tank headaches and migraines because I don't want to develop any kind of like tolerance. So it's like if I really need it, one, I don't have any kind of like resistance to it. So it works for me since I'm not just using it at the mildest of discomfort. And two, I'm keeping poison out of my body.
Well, I love the quote about headaches. It's like, okay, so did you bang your head? Probably not, because you're like, ah, I fucking hit my head on the wall. That hurts. Okay, so you didn't bang your head. Are you fucking dehydrated? Did you drink enough today? Like, even if it's soda and coffee, you fat diabetic piece of shit. Like, did you drink enough today? Okay, you drank enough today. You went and had a glass of water. You're feeling still shitty. Go take a nap, you fucking retard. You probably didn't sleep enough last night. Probably because of all the sugar and the fucking shit that you drank with all the soda and everything else you ate for the past 3 days. It's probably the problem. It's just like you have no Tylenol deficiency in your body ever. Why the fuck are you taking it?
Hmm.
Why block that I'm hurting? Let me figure
See,
out why
that's
I'm
also the
hurting.
big problem is that it suppresses what your body is a sign your body is telling you that something is wrong. So you're not curing it. Tylenol isn't a cure. And that's also why I quit one of my jobs, is because I had the flu, and my manager, like the store manager, said, just take some Tylenol and come in. And I'm like, it's a suppressant. It's a symptom suppressant. It doesn't make you go away. Actually, by lowering my body temperature to not be in a fever anymore, I'm not fighting the virus, because that's what your body does. It heats up your body, so that way it's easier for your white blood cells to take care of the
If
virus.
I'm
So if you're
if
taking
I'm not at a
Tylenol, you're making it
104
last
fever,
longer
fuck
by
you.
cooling yourself off.
Exactly. If I'm not at a 104 fever, I'm gonna control it with the shower. I'm gonna stay somewhat hot, but like cool it off so that way I feel acceptable. And that's what I'm gonna continually do the entire time I'm sick. And if I'm not doing that, I'm gonna be in my bed fucking sleeping with a hoodie on and sweatpants on. I'm gonna try and get rid of it. That's why I'm sick for 2 days when everybody else is sick for fucking months,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because I
exactly. Because
hold myself
you just keep
accountable.
suppressing all of the things that are trying to fight it off, and you think like, oh, I took a Tylenol, my fever went down, I feel better. That means I'm great. No, that means the virus is having a field day inside of you, and when that Tylenol wears off, you're in trouble.
Well, you just stopped your entire body from fighting off the fucking disease you're fighting off. And that's the stupidity of it. Like, and I was sitting here, I was like, okay, the only time I like agree with painkillers or something like that is like when you have an injury and the injury is being taken care of and you're trying to heal and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, still, no. Because if I'm sitting here walking on my meniscus that I tore and taking Tylenol and Motrin to make sure I'm able to walk, guess what? Me being able to walk is the wrong thing to do. There's 2 things. I can either treat everything like normal and fucking work out on it and regrow the problem, or, continually cycle and walk on it and continually re-tear it. I should have sat down and shut the fuck up and stopped taking fucking Tylenol and Motrin. Probably would have helped. See you
Yeah.
guys. We'll teach you how to do better. We're always right. See you fucking next time. Bye.